all the way from sunny Southern California into 32 million homes and counting. This is America Trends. I'm Andrea Kaye, filling in tonight for Dr. Gina. She has been victimized, but what she's attempting to do is to recover monetary damages from a hotel, and she has to prove that she somehow has suffered financially, is my understanding. But again, I'm not an attorney. It kind of goes to the whole defamation thing. You can prove that somebody said something bad to you, but you have to prove that you suffered some kind of damage as a result. And she clearly has been emotionally damaged. Well, he's done his best, supposedly, to make people feel better. He says he's learned his lesson from the Gang of Eight situation, that you got to seal the border first and then see what the American people will tolerate. Why do you think that that hasn't resonated? Because everything else supposedly about him is conservative.
Now I'd like to welcome back to the show political radio host and conservative commentator Andrea Kaye. Andrea, great to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me back, Liz. Did you see that look on Bernie's face just now that he gave Hillary? That was quite the stank face.
It was. He did not expect that attack, especially because he's been acting so gentlemanly.
I know.
Hillary is acting scared, though. Is she feeling the burn from Bernie going into Iowa on Monday?
Oh, she's burning. And if you saw, speaking of ugly looks, if you saw her face at that town hall that she did, she is hot. She is warm. She is burned up with anger at what is going on. Because, you know, Liz, she thought this was going to be, a coronation. And then it's like, oh, wait a second. Is this 2008 all over again for me? She's thinking that was supposed to be a coronation. It's like Bernie Sanders is like some bad 60s flashback for her because she's seeing it slip away again. So are you saying that 22 SAP special access programs were not on her servers, which has already been admitted to, so you might as well go ahead and say yeah.
There was nothing that she sent. There might have been things that originated elsewhere that were classified after the fact, but nothing at the time of its delivery was classified.
According to the Espionage Act, Crick, it does not have to be classified. In fact, it never has to be classified. It just has to be pertaining to national security that she's supposed to protect. That's the fact.
In that town hall, the kid in the audience asked her about her dishonesty. He said a lot of people in our generation, the millennial generation, don't know if she's dishonest or not, don't know if we trust him. Her face froze, like her inner ice was coming out. It was a sight to be seen.
It was Cruella de Vil, man. If she could have Vince Fostered that kid, she would have. Bernie is tapping into, he's kind of like the liberal version of Trump in a sense, that he's really tapping into the anger that's going on out there in America as to what's going on in D.C. with both parties. It's the year of the outsider, and it's like the only anger she's tapping into is like that kid, the people that are angry over her lies, over Benghazi, over the email scandal in the Clinton Foundation.
That is outrageous. He's an American hero.
Yeah, I think that whole exchange just seemed kind of weak to me. And who are all those people booing out there? How large is that Bush family anyway? Wow, Taylor Swift, 52%. Wow, good for her. You know what? I actually love that album that she did. I think she's as talented and putting out as good a music in the pop world as she did in country music. So hat tip to you. And I even love that little Anna Wintour hairdo she had on last night. They're coalescing behind her. They know that she doesn't have any integrity. They know that she's lied. They know Benghazi and the emails and all of it. But the left is coalescing around her. Yeah, well, it's funny you should use the word pledge, because everybody today is kind of making the joke that it was like a shotgun wedding. You've got these two guys, lovebirds, if you will, from opposite sides of the tracks, right? And they come together, they have like a clandestine affair kind of behind the scenes, and then they come together supposedly at a shotgun because they're going to have a love child, right? And I think in this sense, they really thought the love child was going to be a ticket for the two of them. And then next thing we know, it's like a day later, Kasich is already like talking about getting it annulled. Isn't it this kind of behavior where it's employment by force, basically, that's kind of run the unions out? That in combination with the fact that they've run businesses out by holding a gun to the business owners' heads. So many people right now, Dr. Gina, are really seriously concerned about the fractures within the party among the conservatives. Is this year's conference, is it about trying to unify and trying to get the party together? What do you think this year's conference is about? And partly one reason why it's going to resonate is because it's based in some intellectual honesty. And I think that the voters have been feeling as though there hasn't been honesty with the Republican Party. There hasn't been honesty in the fact that they ran and made a lot of promises that they turned right around and failed to deliver on. Well, it seems like every election year, David Duke gets dragged out to try to make some Republican look racist. But I guess one of the things that bothered me so bad about this story is that it was actually Republicans that jumped on the bandwagon. In a nutshell, it's a grassroots movement. He's a man of the people, and he has gone against every rule in the rule book to date. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's confounding the insiders and confounding the establishment, because he's not playing by their rules, and yet he's still winning. For a while I've been complaining, why doesn't the RNC do a better job of finding formats with more friendly moderators, or actually get rid of the moderator format? Well, to me, it's starting to seem like it's a good thing for them if they get to kind of control the outcome. Let's get back to the primaries, because what I found very interesting in Michigan, which was quite a serious upset for your gal Hill, one of the things that was interesting in Michigan, not only did Trump win, who was named like the biggest Islamophobic of the year, he won Dearborn, Michigan, and he won it by a sizable margin against the Rhino Kasich. What do you say about that? Conservatives, we lost an icon this weekend. We lost Nancy Reagan, a hero to many, including myself. She was a hero, actually, to many that weren't even Republicans or conservatives. She was such a beloved figure. What was your reaction when you heard the news? I saw you shaking your head or nodding your head. You were doing gyrations when I put that poll question out there. Should Marco Rubio drop out of the race? Forget what happened in Michigan and Mississippi tonight, Gina. The narrative is Kasich is on a comeback. He's on the upswing. And Rubio is going to be coming back next week on March 15th. We don't have anything to be celebrating tonight, Dr. Gina. That's the message from them. From a strategy standpoint, he could just go, all out and nominate a progressive and then use the media like he does to kind of browbeat and bully the GOP into capitulation. Or he could be really clever.
And then you can save the money.
Yeah, and better to work that out up front, because you save a lot more money that way, not just in the labor expenses, but just in terms of avoiding all the fines. Now, hey, I hear y'all are stumping for Trump down in the low country, and he is getting low down with the showdown in the low country down in your neck of the woods in advance of the primary, right? Hey, stay tuned. Coming up, we've got Dave Elhoff, financial genius and guru, and personal friend of mine who's going to be with us. More American Dream TV on the other side of the break. Why are we not allowed to criticize a former president? Somebody was saying today on a talk show, oh, he's a revered president. He's not revered to me. To me, he's just like, he's another elected official. He's an employee of the people, right? Because he's going to tell us about his genius in the real estate market and how he's become such a real estate guru. He is in real estate what Elhoff is in the finance world. Stay tuned. More American Dream TV coming right back up. Well, Kanye, he is a little ridiculous, because the guy owes like $53 million right now on some really bad clothing that I could have, probably done better in home ec class. And now he's gone and asked Mark Zuckerberg to invest like $1 billion into that clothing line that I wouldn't put my baby Beau in, my Sharpay. Don't we already have a plan? Isn't it called Medicaid? Don't we already have that? Don't we already have a policy in America that if you go to an emergency room, they cannot deny you care? I mean, don't we already have that? And did Obamacare really solve anybody's financial problems when it comes to insurance? Because I know my premiums went up like 3 times.
For Obamacare.
What I would encourage both of the campaigns to do is start pivoting to policy, start taking the argument to the Democrats, because when we get to the convention, one of the things that we need to do is come up with a party platform. Yes, the Rules Committee will convene and they'll look at the rules for this year's convention, and that will play a part in terms of what happens. But we need to come up with our party platform, something that we can coalesce around. And if we're really wise as a party, we can take a look at history. We can take a look at what we face going into the general election, and a Democrat Party and liberalism and all that means. They are really trying to transform us into a socialist society, and we as a party can't let that happen. I can't understand why so many young people today are showing up at Bernie Sanders rallies, which is, while he offers free stuff, which even when I was 9 years old, I knew there was no such thing as free. Why are they falling for it? Well, I absolutely loved your speech. I loved how you focused on unity. I loved how you asked everybody to stand up and actually close their eyes, and you took them back through some really key moments that have happened in America. And then you closed with having everybody repeat after you that we are the home of the free and of the brave. And it just really touched my heart. So here is what some of you had to say on social media. White House press secretary, not really, President Obama has no plan to deal with the debt, ISIS, illegal immigration, Ukraine, but he does almost have his March Madness brackets done. Well, it sounds to me as though, while it's not technically wrong in terms of the fact that it's playing the game, the problem is I think that for many Americans, now that the light is being shown on what this game is, American people are saying, you know what, this stinks. This is a game we don't want to be in. Well, from the crazy on the left to the crazy on the right, here now to talk about all tonight's events and what happened in Wisconsin and the possible impending craziness of a contested Republican convention is John Hawkins. Welcome back to America Trends, John.
Well, I'm glad I get to represent the crazy on the right.
Yeah, in fact, that was one of the reasons why, excuse me for interrupting, why Obama got so much support back in 2008, because he said there would never be a lobbyist in my administration. And then, of course, his administration was loaded up with lobbyists. There's others in the party that say, well, you know what? That's wrong. What does it say about a candidate who can't get the votes from the people? So he's got to go around the voters who rejected him and court the insiders while he's running as an outsider. Now, Ben & Jerry's is giving out free ice cream in New York City, but only the new flavors that are inspired by Bernie Sanders. I mean, what kind of flavor is he inspiring? When you going to go get yourself some free ice cream?
There must be some disgusting ice cream if it's after him. But I mean, if they're gonna go full socialist, they should give out ice cream, distribute it to everybody equally, and come bring it to my house. Because why should I go out and try to get it?
Yeah. Although, do you really want to be eating government cheese flavored ice cream?
It's probably nasty.
It's free.
Yeah.
But anything by the government, it just doesn't work. It's nasty.
Anything by the government, it doesn't work, and it always tastes nasty to me. Except when it comes to Obamacare, I think, and some of the other, we're going to talk about immigration in a little bit, but, there's some benefits that it might actually behoove you to not have an ID. It's getting to the point where it might be better for us, though, to go across the border, pretend we're not American, and come back, speaking another language. We might get better benefits. There's so much rationale. Like, one of the things that I've heard from so many of the pro-Cruz, anti-Trump crowd is, Trump's maxing out at this 40%. That means that ever since from the beginning, 60% of Republicans, are anti-Trump. And I'm looking at Cruz, who, has been maxing out somewhere around 30%. And I'm saying, well, wait a second. Math tells me that means that 70% don't want Cruz. Trump Tower in Vancouver, Canada is trending today. A Mexican-Canadian construction worker hung a Mexican flag on the building and posted a picture of it on Facebook. Megan, do you think this guy knows who's signing his paychecks? What's up with New York? The fact that Kasich is coming in second? I mean, didn't Cruz have the momentum coming out of Wisconsin? But then I hear today that he, at his New York rally today, which is a rally more of like two people, I guess, he got something called the Bronx Cheer. Now, I don't know exactly what that is, Mona, but it doesn't sound very good. In fact, it makes me wonder if there was a certain finger involved in that Bronx Cheer. What was that about? But certainly we all heard on videos them talking about baby parts being line items. They talked about an illegal procedure to manipulate the abortion in order to make sure that the parts were saved so that they can be sold and not crushed. I mean, at least there should have been an investigation there. Political systems are not protected by the First Amendment. And that's something that I've been arguing about for a while, that Islam should not have the protections of religion because it's a political system first, with a religious component second. Brady B said, tried to flick that thing from my iPad, but it was just hashtag Cruz lip.
I mean, he had his demons like we all do. Got into drugs a little bit. He's always telling people I was hitting him. He never stopped wetting the bed. Our ages are not that far apart, really. In fact, I relate really well to young people. I'd say we were more like friends than we were mother and son, if you know what I mean.
Did you piss yourself again? You ain't never gonna get a girlfriend as long as you're doing this. I mean, what girl's gonna want to wake up with piss all over?
Hey, now I don't want to rush you, but you need to get going. Now, Dan knows I have a kid, but that don't mean he wants to meet you.
Babe!
Yeah, baby, right here.
Get your street walking ass back in here!
And I don't want you shortcutting through that field. I've seen those boys hanging around. Damn troublemakers are no good.
Babe!
Coming, baby, don't be mad.
In the tropical rainforests of South and Central America, relatively few creatures in the animal world can be seen during the rain.
Richard, is something wrong?
No, I'm fine.
What are you doing? Do you have pornography in there?
Mom, just give me a minute.
Open this door right now.
No, Mom, just give me a minute.
Are you on drugs?
Mama, please, I'm on the toilet.
Shut up and open this door right now. I swear to God, I'll kick it in.
No! Mama, please, just give me a minute.
That's it.
No, Mom! Please!
You want on no toilet? You hurt? Don't you think you get to keep secrets from me? God! It's dead! Get it out of my house! Stop crying, baby!
Hey, Richard, get over here.
Now, I don't know what was going on with you yesterday, but I want it to stop. Sit down!
What's with the orange?
I need the vitamins.
Well, pushing it through your head ain't how it works. Now, I was talking to Miss Mills.
Who?
Miss Mills. Mills, the people who moved in last week. Now, they have a daughter, Kathy.
Mom!
Hush! Now, she is new here. She knows nobody. And I thought it would be nice if you could take her out and show her around, introduce her to some people. You can use my car. Well, how'd it go?
She's a bitch.
What? I talked to her yesterday. She is a lovely girl.
Why don't you date her then?
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Don't you talk to me like that.
Or what?
What?
Or what? You'll poison me?
Poison?
I know what you're doing.
Doing?
I know! You're trying to poison me!
You're nuttier than squirrel turds. You ungrateful. Son of a...
I'm out of here.